We heard the sirens. We thought you were supposed to duck and cover during the sirens in case of a nuclear explosion.
No, the sirens are an emergency drill. They're just for natural disasters like tornadoes. Besides, nobody's been worried about nuclear explosions since the 60s.
Really? Why aren't they worried about nuclear explosions anymore?
The Partial Test Ban Treaty was passed in 1963. It bans nuclear weapons testing on land, in the atmosphere, and underwater. However, under the Partial Test Ban Treaty, countries can still test nuclear weapons underground.
Wait, so they could still do a test underground? What if they explode a device so big that it creates a massive earthquake?
Well, it would have to be a pretty big explosion for it to make an earthquake, and besides, in 1974, the Threshold Test Ban Treaty was passed, and even 2 years after that, the Peaceful Nuclear Explosions Treaty was passed.
Well, wait. What did those treaties say?
Basically, the two ban underground nuclear weapons testing that exceeds a 150 kiloton yield.
Well, that's still pretty big. Weren't Fat Man and a Little Boy about 20 kilotons each?
Remember that underground explosions are much different than atmospheric explosions. If a device is buried deep enough, the explosion can be contained. Also, the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty was passed in 1996, and it bans all nuclear weapons testing.
How can we be sure that no one is testing any nuclear weapons?
The Preparatory Commission for the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty is working on setting up a global verification network called the International Monitoring System, or IMS. The purpose of the IMS is to ensure compliance with the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty using observational technology to detect violations. Upon completion, the IMS will consist of 337 monitoring stations that span the entire globe, even the oceans. Many different technologies will be combined to detect a nuclear explosion. The network will include 241 waveform stations, which will be seismic, hydroacoustic, and infrasound stations. Also included will be 80 radionuclide stations with 40 noble gas stations. All the data will be transmitted via satellite to the International Data Center in Vienna. There, the data is analyzed and combined to look for nuclear explosions. It is on the member states to decide whether a nuclear explosion took place. As a final verification measure, on-site inspections can be performed to verify a state's compliance with the CTBT.
This global monitoring network sounds exciting. Just imagine what else it could be used for.
Seismic and hydroacoustic technologies can be used for tsunami early warning. In collaboration with the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, the CTBTO began providing real-time data to 4 tsunami warning centers. Current testing shows high potential for timely warning of arriving tsunamis. Infrasound technology can potentially be used to make civil aviation safer. Infrasound technology can assist in the detection of volcanic eruptions by registering the very low frequency sound waves they emit. Radionuclide detections in combination with atmospheric transport modeling can be used for emergency response in nuclear-related accidents. The system proved to be working successfully during the 2011 Fukushima earthquake, tsunami, and subsequent reactor accident at the Daiichi facility. In this case, the waveform technologies can of course also be used for earthquake and tsunami warnings. As of now, the majority of countries have signed and ratified the treaty. Only 8 members are still required to sign or ratify before it can enter into force. In March 2012, CTBTO celebrated its 15th anniversary. These are the 15 years since the treaty opened for signature. Hopefully, it will not take another 15 years before it is ratified and enters into force.
Danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered. He did what we all must learn to do. You and you and you and you